Okay, so we'll start with international human resource management, which I have already started the subject in class. So, international human resource management is nothing but the human resource activities which is carried out internationally in different countries. What you are going to learn. The model of IHRM is very important because it is actually the definition of IHRM given by Morgan. So there are three elements here: human resource activities, types of employees, and countries of operation. Human activities is all the activities of procuring, allocating, and utilizing your human resource, that is staffing. Types of employees are host country nationals, parent country nationals, and third country nationals. Here I explain types of employees with an example. There is a US MNC IBM which has an Australian subsidiary. When it employs local citizens over there, those employees will be known as HCNs. When it sends its employees from the US headquarters to other countries on assignments, they will be known as PCNs, parent country nationals. Suppose they have a subsidiary in Singapore and in Japan, and they send some Singaporean employees to Japan on any assignment, that will be known as TCNs, third country nationals. And so, as I told you, the model of IHRM is explaining the is actually the definition of IHRM given by Morgan. So, the three countries of operations is the home country where the company has its headquarters, host country where the company is having its branch, and other countries are other than the host countries where all which are the other countries where it is having subsidiaries is the other country. So the interplay between all these three elements, that is human resource activities, types of employees, and countries of operation, this is all is the definition of IHRM. So domestic HRM, you are concerned with only employees of one country, whereas international IHRM, you are dealing with employees from different countries. So an expatriate is a person who is sent abroad on some assignment, some work. He is known also as an international assignee. He is temporarily working over there in a foreign country. So that person is known as a expatriate. Here diagrammatically I have tried to explain PCN, HCN and TCN. From parent country headquarters, employee is sent to subsidiary in country A. He is known as PCN. From country A subsidiary, an employee is sent to headquarters. He is known as HCN. From country A subsidiary to country B subsidiary, employees are sent. It is known as TCN. Such an employee is known as TN. So this explains the types of employees. Expatriate is the term which is used to signify staff which is sent from the subsidiary to the headquarters, that is known as expatriate. So like for example MNC like Nokia, its headquarters is Finland. When they send their staff from headquarters to some other country on assignment work, they call it at such an employee as expatriate. And when they send the staff from any other country to either headquarters or to any other country, they are known as expatriate. And transpatriate is for employees who are actually known as TCNs, who are transferred from one subsidiary to another subsidiary. So the difference between domestic and international HRM is very simple. International HRM is more complex as compared to domestic HRM, because why it is complex is because in international HRM more HR activities are there, since it takes place in a foreign country. more risk is there, more chance of risk where the expatriate is not able to do his assignment properly. He fails in carrying out his assignment successfully. And in international HRM, the HR people have to be more involved in employees' personal life because he is living in a foreign country, and the workforce mix in foreign countries will be a mix of local people and expatriates. There will be a lot of external influences like the political system of that country or the local culture, language, food habits of that country will all influence HR over there. So international HRM needs to have a broader view as compared to domestic HRM. So how more HR activities arise in international HRM is that when an expatriate is sent abroad, or a TCN or a HCN employee is sent to work on an assignment, then HR department has to carry out international taxation, has to help him to relocate. They have to take care of host country relations, host government relations. If language problem is there, they have to take care of language translation. They have to give him some kind of training before sending the expatriate, that is known as pre-departure training, help him with immigration, housing, medical facilities, schooling of children, providing him work permits. All these are giving him expatriate premium. All these are the HR which have to be done in international HRM. Greater involvement in employees' personal life is when they have to help the employee in the foreign country to get housing, to get proper health care and schooling of their children, and if they need any help in recreational programs or those kind of things also, the HR has to help the expatriate by helping him get all these facilities. So final repatriation is when the employee finishes his assignment, the PCN or TCN, and he wants to go back to his home country. That is known as final repatriation. So there also the HR company has to help him to wind up everything that he in the foreign country and help him to come back safely to home country. So changes due to the workforce mix is that since a lot locals and expatriates are working together, in the beginning the HR will be doing more of international HR activities like helping the expatriates relocate, orienting them, giving them training, helping them with taxation, etc. But once the expatriates comes to an end, then the HR gets more involved with local activities over there, the activities of for the local employees over there. Risk exposure is because it is international business. The financial failure, more chance is there, so it's more riskier. Expatriate failure can happen. The expatriate may not be able to adjust in the foreign country. He may not be able to carry out his assignment properly. He may want to come back to his home country because he is feeling homesick. So all this leads to a lot of risk for the company, and it will incur direct cost as well as indirect cost for the company. Direct cost is what the cost they incur in paying salary to the expatriate, what money they spent in training him, in his travel and relocation expenses. All these are very high for an expatriate as compared to a domestic employee. Relocation will also, expenses will include currency exchange and helping him in housing and schooling and all in the new assignment, location, all this will incur expenses, direct expenses for the company. And indirect expenses is where the company may lose good relations with the host country government. They may lose market share in the foreign market because the expatriate has experienced failure. He is not able to do his assignment and he wants to come back to his homeland. So another risk which is very relevant in today's times is terrorism. That there is always the fear of terrorism in foreign countries, especially after the 9/11 events which happened in New York. So most of the MNCs today they reserve 1 to 2% of their revenue to protect their employees against terrorism. And also political risk has also to be considered. In some countries the political situation may be very unstable, so it will be very riskier for the expatriates to work in such countries. So HR may have to do emergency evacuation to remove their employees from such dangerous assignment areas and bring them back to the home country. So, what are the major external factors which influence IHRM is the type of government, which is where in whichever country they have set up their subsidiary or the branch, the type of government over there, whether it favors the foreign company or whether it puts a lot of red tapeism and does not help the foreign company to function properly in their land. What is the economic situation in that country? That also is a major external factor. Then the general business practices which is there in other countries. Each area, if you see, the business practices are different, so that greatly influences international uh, human resource activities. Like for example, you see countries like Malaysia and all, they dictate that the foreign companies should give more employment to the local Malaysian people, and they make sure that the local people are employed more by the foreign companies, and they ask the foreign companies to give forward their employment details to the relevant government. So such kind of internal external factors will greatly influence IHRM, that is International Human Resource Activities. So, if you see in developed countries, the labor is more organized, it's more expensive, like US, Canada, and all. The labor is organized and expensive as compared to less developed countries like China, India, and other Asian countries. So, since the labor is cheaper in the less developed countries and less organized and government regulation is less, most of the MNCs they set up operations in such countries. So if they set up operations in developed countries, they have to be very careful to follow all the rules regarding labor relations, regarding health and safety of employees. They have to be very particular about that in developed countries, whereas in less developed countries, they need not be very particular about following the rules that is dictated in countries. So difference between domestic HRM and international HRM is depicted in few points. This is a very common question which is asked in the externals. So domestic HRM, as you already know, I'll quickly go through it. They are employees of one nationality. They are usually employees that is grouped region wise or zone wise, like from north region or west zone or east zone, like that. Work pattern is very routine, compensation is almost similar, communication is normal. Administrative support has to be given to the employees. Firms do not normally help in schooling and medical, providing medical facilities to employees. And any difficult or unusual situations, the local employees take care of themselves. Public relations work is usually taken care by the employees themselves.